This is the way.
The Mandalorian is one step closer to fulfilling his quest and returning the child to his own kind, at least before he devours every single frog egg in sight. Directed by Bryce Dallas Howard, Chapter 11, The Heiress, puts Din Djarin right back on his quest, introducing him to more of his kind, but dang Ferric, there's a lot of baggage to unpack, but it sets up the larger conflict of the series, and in the middle of it all, the Dark Saber. But before we get into all that, I have to warn you, there are some heavy spoilers coming in hot, so if you haven't seen The Mandalorian Chapter 11 yet, now would be a prudent time to abandon ship. Alright, now that we're past the spoiler warning, let's get right to it.
I am Bo-Katan of Clan Kryze. I was born on Mandalore and fought in the Purge.
And there is your next huge character reveal. We know Bo-Katan from the Clone Wars and later Star Wars Rebels, where she wielded the fracking Dark Saber, and speaking of Battlestar Galactica references, that is Starbuck herself, Katie Sackhoff reprising her role as Bo-Katan.
You are not Mandalorian.
Hold up there, buddy. Bo-Katan is about as Mandalorian as it gets. Sister to Duchess Satine Kryze, who ruled Mandalore, Bo-Katan was once part of the Death Watch, and because of that, Dark Saber was meant to rule Mandalore as well. More on that Dark Saber in just a moment. Bo-Katan is joined by two other Mandos, Axe Woves, played by Simon Mario Cassianides, and Casca Reeves, played by WWE superstar Sasha Banks. So if you were wondering who she was from the trailers, now we know. She is a Mando fighting alongside Bo-Katan. They help Mando out of a tight spot, and boom, now we are back on the main quest, no more side missions.
We need your help on our mission.
Okay, well, maybe one more side mission, but this one has a huge payoff. The objective? Hijack an Imperial freighter and steal the weapons inside, which they do, but the biggest score comes in the info that we, the audience, learn during the mission. First, Bo-Katan is hunting for the Dark Saber, which is important, but hang on, I told you we'd get to that in a minute, and we will, but the other big reveal?
Take the Foundling to the city of Caladan on the forest planet of Corvus. There you will find Ahsoka Tano.
What was once rumored is now confirmed. Ahsoka Tano is going to appear in live action, and she is likely the most experienced Force user in the galaxy at this point in Star Wars chronology, including Luke Skywalker, but not including one kind of dead, up for debate Sheev Palpatine, but I digress. This is why we came to Trask in the first place. A famous Mandalorian lights the way to Ahsoka Tano and gets us back on the radar of Moff Gideon, who's still running around with that Dark Saber, and trust me, we're getting to the Dark Saber. We'll get to it in a second, just hang on.
Do not cover your face.
Yeah, so anyway, once Mando sees the Mandalorians taking off their helmets, he gets pretty confused, and thankfully Bo-Katan clears it up.
You are a child of the Watch.
She's talking about the Death Watch, the group of Mandalorians that saved Din Djarin as a kid. Bo-Katan once helped the Death Watch almost overthrow her sister's peaceful government and take over the whole planet, so she's got plenty of her own history with the Death Watch. But now we have an answer to a question that's been nagging us since last season. Why does Din Djarin never remove his helmet when the Mandos we see in Clone Wars and Rebels, Mandos like Bo-Katan Kryze, just casually pop their helmets off all the time? The difference is simple. Religious Mandalorians like Din Djarin never pop their tops, while native Mandalorians like Bo-Katan aren't really held to those rules and kind of go casual Friday with the whole thing.
Children of the Watch are a cult of religious zealots that broke away from Mandalorian society. Their goal was to reestablish the ancient way.
But Mando says there is only one way, the way of the Mandalore. Obviously, this is Bo-Katan's first appearance in the show, but this religious difference between Mando and Bo-Katan could lead them to face off against each other later on, and when it comes to killing other Mandalorians, well, Bo-Katan has a history with that too.
Where is it?
There's what?
The Dark Saber.
Okay, finally, the Dark Saber. It's the real reason behind the hijack in the first place because Bo-Katan lost it and she wants it back. Quick recap, it is an ancient Mandalorian lightsaber and whoever wields it is the rightful ruler of Mandalore, or so the legend goes. Bo-Katan acquired the Dark Saber in Star Wars Rebels, intending to unite the Mandalorian clans and get the Empire right off of Mandalore. And of course, when Moff Gideon appeared with the Dark Saber at the end of Season 1, it became clear that Bo-Katan's efforts failed.
Does he have it?
If you're asking, you already know.
We also know a little more about what happened to Mandalore after the Purge. Mando says the whole planet is cursed, anyone who goes there dies, and of course the real answer is that the Empire poisoned Mandalore, and once it realized that this world of warlike people couldn't be tamed and they might as well just screw the whole thing over. So if you're looking for clues on where this show is headed, here's what we got. Bo-Katan is amassing weapons and Mandalorians to retake planet Mandalore. Once Mando meets up with Ahsoka Tano, chances are good that they'll team up with Bo-Katan to get that Dark Saber back and restore the Mandalorians' natural home.
Mandalorians are stronger together.
Anyway, real quick, here are some Easter eggs we saw. It looked like some AT-AT legs on that walker that fished the Razor Crest out of the drink. The Mandalorian Axe Wove says that stormtroopers couldn't hit the side of a bantha, which, yeah, that's agreed. When Bo-Katan gives a knowing look at the child, it's probably because the child looks a little bit like a Baby Yoda, and, you know, she knew actual Yoda. The Gozanti-class cruiser we've seen in The Phantom Menace and the Clone Wars as well. The world that Mando is headed next is Planet Corvus, which we haven't seen before, but the Battlefront 2 campaign included a ship named the Corvus, so that could be a connection. That familiar-looking Imperial officer is played by Bosch star Titus Welliver. Not an Easter egg, but it was nice to see the child finally showing some respect to that frog lady's younglings. And of course, we got a badass hallway fight scene in case you needed any more confirmation that this show is basically a video game, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
This is the way.
But what do you think? Will Mando eventually help liberate planet Mandalore? Will he eventually wield the Dark Saber? Let's talk it over in the comments. Anyway, thanks for watching, and for more Mandos, check out our review of The Mandalorian Chapter 10, and remember to follow and subscribe to IGN wherever you like to watch. This is the way, no disintegrations, and may the Force be with you.